What is up, dudes? My name's Andy and welcome back to some Steins Gate. We aren't where we left off, and that's because I skipped the date, because someone told me that I didn't need to do it, because it's just the repeat. So the reason why I wasn't skipping the other stuff is because I didn't know if they would sprinkle new stuff in there or do whatever, so I didn't want to skip it. I still don't know if this is new. I think this is old. I still think this is old, but at least we skipped the whole entire date and everything. So we skipped quite a bit of reading something again. Also, a little something I want to say before I get started into the game, and while I have everybody here, it's that, should I stream this? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, if I do stream it, is I'm not going to talk to you guys, because I want it to be a normal Let's Play. I just want it to be where if those people who want to watch it earlier, and I'm gonna stream for about 3 hours, so it's gonna be about 3 parts. So I'm gonna stream for about 3 hours, and I'm not gonna talk to chat or anything. It's just like a thing I want to do so people can watch it earlier if they want to. And also, not only that, but you know, to get more people to know about the Twitch and everything. And also it's just a quicker way to do it, because that way I have 3 hours of recording done and everything out of the way. And I don't know, it just seemed like a good idea. So what do you guys think? Should I do that or should I not? But the thing is, it's gonna go on YouTube anyways, so so you don't have to worry about that. It will the parts will go on YouTube, and they'll be normal length parts. They won't be any longer or any shorter. They'll be normal length parts. I will just have had streamed it beforehand. So that's pretty much it. So tell me whether you guys want that or not. And yeah, and I'll put the link to the Twitch down below, so if you guys do want it, you can go over there and we can. And I'll probably be doing that either tomorrow or Friday, maybe. And if not, I'll do it Monday. So yeah. Alright. Let's get into it. As soon as she got back to the lab, she yelled at her useless father.
Oh, Sisa, ごめんね。しょぼくれてるんじゃない。シャレじゃ済まないんだ。とりあえず、今日はなんであんな態度を取ったのか、しっかり説明して。今朝出かけるときはあんなに楽しそうだったじゃないか。
Yeah, this is pretty much the same. So,
映画の途中までは普通だったって言ってたし。
So, I'm going. I already saved like a little bit before, so I'm gonna skip. See where we land. I think I can skip to after this. It's after this whole thing. This. Yeah, we've already seen that. We know she doesn't know what she wants to do. We don't know what she's thinking. Felice is here. Well, that's new, isn't it? Suzuha let go of Daru's collar and moved over to the window. Below, she saw a group of people she knew. Yeah. Oh, okay, so this is new. Okay, so the part before, I'm pretty sure nothing was new, and if anything was new, it was probably her just being like, "Dad, you idiot," and stuff. So I think we're fine. I think we're fine. If not, the comment section, I'm sure somebody has seen this before, and will be able to catch you up. So if you don't know, if there is if someone says there is something, just say say whether there is or not, so people will know and I will know and everything, and we'll be fine. They look great. We haven't seen Okabe, his full body in a while. He's slim. He's looking good. He's looking good. Where's his... He doesn't have the stubble anymore, I think he did at the beginning of the game. So does that mean he's getting better? I think. So okay. Oh, all right. Cool. So yeah, just inform us whether or not. Also, to the people who have none of you played the game before, or did the people who played the game before not want to ring in on do the bad ending or not? Was that like a thing? Because I'm almost completely apparently the bad ending adds nothing, so I don't know. Suzuha let go of the yeah, and she saw a group of people she knew. Okabe Rintaro, Shina Mayori, and Felice Nyanyan. And Hyajo Maho too.
Hyajo-san, もう到着してたのか。でもなんでオカリンおじさんたちと一緒なんだろう。
And then she gave a start. and turned back towards the room.
まずいよ、それ出しっぱなし。
The time leap machine? Suzawa pointed towards the desk in the development room where the phone wave name could be changed. Unit 02 was sitting.
やばいやばい、隠せ。オキドキ。
Oh man. Ooh, come on, let Okabe see it, and then he'll be like, time to save the world. No, he won't. We know he won't. If nothing else, this meant that Hyajo and Maho was coming to the future gadget lab. Suzawa hoped that this meant the work on the phone wave would get back on track. Yeah, then we could save the world. Visage will recognize. Okay, so now we are finally on the good end track. Alright. Alright. Oh, what just happened? There was a small explosion in the room filled with smoke. It was the Moad snake, isn't it? Maho crawled out into the living room. Dadu rushed to open the window, and she heard a man who was probably the building's owner yell up at them. We don't know. Shut up, Tennoji! Well, he's like, how in the world did the microwave blow up? Dadu poked his head out and apologized to the man below. It took a minute, but the owner was finally satisfied and the argument ended. Or we are a crazy group, and Dadu wiped away the sweat. As she saw that his face and clothes were both covered in soot. Maho was no different. Some of her hair had been burned off, and the white lab coat she'd gone through all that trouble to get had turned pitch black.
どういうことか説明して、なぜいきなり煙を吹いたの？電子レンジが原因だと思われ、粗大ゴミで捨てられてたのを拾ってきたやつだから。拾ってきたって、あなたね。
Yeah, we needed a good mic. Maybe that's the problem. We don't have a good microwave.
私たちが作ろうとしているのは人類史に名を残すレベルの大発明なのよ。なのになんで粗大ゴミを部品に使っているの？
Maybe because we're poor.
業務用の電子レンジは高いのだぜ。信じられない。私のクレジットカードを使ってもいいから、なんとかしなさい。
Whoa, we can use Maho's credit card? Well, we're gonna do more than buy our microwave. Maho didn't have that much money, but this was no time to be cheap.
それは助かるよ。
Yes, Maho wiped her sweaty, soot-covered face with a towel. The white towel turned black immediately. Man, this is awesome. We're finally gonna be able to time travel.
もう我慢できないわ。エアコンを入れるわよ。
Someone told me I could be Okabe in the true ending. Lies! Lies!
それは無理。電話レンジ仮2号機と一緒に稼働させるとブレーカーが落ちるんで。つうかそのエアコン、電気代がとんでもないことになるから、1日1時間しか使うの禁止って言ったっしょ。
Fantastic. These working conditions were abysmal. Was Kudis really able to create the time leap machine under these circumstances? Just thinking about it gave her even more respect for Kudis.
わかったわよ。でも、髪まですすまみれだから、シャワーを借りたいのだけれど。どうぞどうぞ。もしちょっとでも覗くような真似をしたら、すぐに鈴葉さんに連絡するから、そのつもりで。そんなことしないって。
Yeah, come on. Dadu has more respect than that. For some reason, Dadu responded to Maho's warning by sighing and slumping his shoulders.
つうか僕は今、そういう冗談に付き合っていられるほど心の余裕はないよ。
Maho didn't mean it as a joke. She was extremely serious.
昇進の僕は今週はエロゲすら立ってる状態なんで。
I'm in such a bad way that I'm not even playing H games. Did I thought the translating team was from England, wasn't it? Isn't the translating team from the UK? Why in the world did they say, I'm in such a bad way? Is that like an English saying? Or is it like, because, like when I hear like people with English as like their second language, like that, like they'll speak like that? But like, even if you did translate it, you seem like, I feel like you would translate it in a right way. You wouldn't like translate it in a, I've never translated a game before, you know, I'm just saying, if I would just translate it how I speak. She'd heard from Suzuha that the day she arrived in Japan, Daru had screwed up bad on a date. It was true that Daru was a lot quieter than his usual self. Mayuri had even said that Daru not playing age games must be an omen of some impending natural disaster. But either way, she didn't have time for negativity, so she mostly ignored him and went to the shower room. Since Suzuha used the shower regularly, it was relatively clean. There was a good selection of body soap and shampoo, and Suzuha told her she could use it as she liked. How else would you be spending Tanabata? Maho? Do we even come on. Are we gonna celebrate it? That day was, indeed, Tanabata. Actually, Maho had been secretly looking forward to this day. Since she lived in America for so long, she was interested in Japan's traditional summer holiday. She was especially interested in the famous story of Orihime and Hikoboshi, and the custom of writing down wishes and hanging them from bamboo. So basically, I think Orihime and Hikoboshi, I don't know what they not completely sure what they represent, but they like meet, they can meet like once a year at Tanabata, and I think I don't know too much about it. That's like pretty much it. Like something happened, and I knew more at one time. I just can't remember it right now. So let's look at tips to see if they actually do tell us anything more, because it's actually a pretty interesting thing. A man who appears in the legend of Tanabata. In Japan, Altair, the brightest star in the constellation Aquila, is known as the summer Hikoboshi star. The star Vega, Orihime, is separated from Altair by the Milky Way, and the legend says that only on Tanabata can they cross it and come together. This was originally a Chinese legend. A girl who appears in the legend of Tanabata, and basically it's going to say the same thing. She's married to Hikoboshi. And so, yeah. That's pretty much it. They're stars. That's what I thought. I thought they were stars, but I didn't want to say it and be wrong. When she was here, she sort of wanted to try writing down a wish, too. Yeah, you get like a tree, and then you write like down a wish, and then you put it on there, and then like something another. She didn't want to bring it up herself because she didn't want anyone thinking of her as childish, but Mayuri, Fatties, and the other girls seemed like they had wanted to do something like that. Part of her had hoped they'd invite her too. That's why it hurt so much to be spending the hot summer afternoon in the lab with Daru, covered in soot. Why don't you just ask him if he could come along? Mayuri would be super happy. She was thinking about that as she washed herself off when she could hear Daru calling her from outside. No, he's not gonna. Why would he yell if he was going to peek, Maho? I hate how they're using this music. Like it's something bad's about to happen, but like no, something bad isn't inherently about to happen. Like why would they just put this music on? We don't know. We don't know. We're in the perspective of Maho right now. Don't put the bad music on until we know something bad's going on. I knew it was nothing bad in the first place. I knew nothing bad was going to happen. I knew it. I knew it for a fact. But I hate this music so much when they use it in the wrong circumstances. They've done it multiple times. And that's not even like a translation error. I think that's like Japan had put this music, like the Japanese studio had put this music in. They just put it like in the wrong place. And at other times, I hate when like they're so lazy. Like this is a AAA game or whatever, you know, whatever you want to say. This is made by an actual company, and they're so lazy that they don't change the music sometimes. Sometimes I know it's like, you know, it might take up more data or whatnot. But like at some certain points, like in the conversation, it like completely changes, but it will still be happy music because it's going to stop changing in just a few, like, and not that long. It's gonna go back to being happy. But like for that short time, the music should at least like stop, or something should happen there instead of just being happy music when they're like, my mom died, and it's like do 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 do. Yeah, I don't really remember the music how it sounds, but you know what I'm saying. Maho's mind started to race. She'd been told that Okabe rarely came to the lab anymore. Okabe is literally the main character of this game, and why are they? I know I just went on a rant about this, but why are they having this? Like, music is really like making me mad right now. In fact, after he dropped her off here, the first day he hadn't come by even once. That's why she'd felt safe going in and out of the lab, but... It's cause my brain connects this music with we're in that parking garage and that guy's shooting at us. We just got the door broken. We just got the door broken down, and they're gonna shoot Mayuri. We're breaking into Victor Condra or whatever the university was, and we're going into the basement to, you know, get out Okabe or get out Kagari or whatever we're doing. Like, it's for that really intense stuff. It's not for Okabe's coming down to the lab and he doesn't know what's going on. That's how she explained her visit to Okabe. If he found out she was working on the phone wave with Daru, there would be trouble. After she was sure Daru was gone, she quickly washed the bubbles from the body soap off her body. Her long hair still wasn't dry, but there wasn't time for that. She wiped herself off with the towel and was about to leave the shower room when she heard the door open. Hey, Daru! He was already here? She quickly shut the door into the shower room again. But then, she looked down and saw that she was naked. Her clothes were lying on the floor past the door. There was no way she could get them without Okabe seeing her. Her only choice was to stay hidden, completely undressed, and wait for him to leave. You're in the shower room, though. And Okabe never takes a shower. This music is so unnecessary right now. I know I said it multiple times. Like, why is she worrying about being completely undressed? I guess it's just that Okabe's here and she's naked and ooh. No. Well, okay. No music should have been in that scene, or like whatever, but I feel like they had that scene for the, I guess it's just to know that, oh, Maho's in that room, ha 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 ha, that's funny, or whatever, you know, like, oh, well, we know, like, because maybe Okabe won't even go in there, but like this conversation may have something to do with them, and they'll be like, ooh, whoa, haha. Hey, Daru. Daru greeted me as I came into the lab. He seemed to be in kind of a hurry. The room smelled kind of like smoke. And someone must have been using the shower room because the smoky smell was mixed in with the scent of soap. But whoever it was, it definitely wasn't Daru. His face and clothes were blackened with soot. I thought it might be Suzawa, but the lights in the shower room were turned off. I don't know. I'll make my comments after the conversation is over. What were you doing, dude? You're black with soot.
これはこの前粗大ゴミの電子レンジを拾ってきたんだよね。 で、さっきそれでコンビニ弁当を温めてたら爆発した。
It blew up. Are you okay?
ブラウン氏に怒られたお。
Don't get him too riled up. You don't know when he'll kick you out. If he does that, you might be okay, but Suzuha will have nowhere to go.
そうだね。で、今日はどうしたん？マヨシなら来てないけど。
I need to talk to you. Good news.
だが断る。
What? I haven't said anything yet.
オカリンの持ってきた話がまともだってことなんて一度もないんで。
Yeah, but I prefaced it with good news. Come on, just hear me out. Last night, I went to dinner with Dr. Leskinen, and we were talking about the exchange program.
ああ、またその話か。
What? What's your problem, Daru?
I'm evil.
I was keeping in touch with Dr. Evil. Of course, the professor knew that Maho was here in Japan. Yesterday, he'd shown me a picture of her taken in Okinawa. What? How did she... I could see her standing in the surf with a blank expression on her face. A friend or a family member must have taken it. Dr. Leskinen had been really nice to me, and I talked to him a lot about going to Victor Condria. Of course, at a minimum, I needed to graduate my current school and pass the exchange exam for Victor Condria. See, in the other version, in Steins Gate, the original, we would have known none of this information. We would have been completely clueless. We would have been exactly where Okabe is. I actually was telling him about you, and he was interested.
僕？
Victor Condria's got something called an information science lab. It brings together hackers from around the world, supposedly. With your talents, don't you think you'd fit in fine there? I've been inviting Daru to come to America with me, but he didn't seem that interested. He said things like, I can't imagine living away from my otaku mecca, and no way, I'm living anywhere you can't get H games and anime figures. What? But you can. You can, though, online, Daru. I don't know, in 2010? He done nothing but give excuses
そ
like
りゃ
that.
僕はスーパーハッカーだし、通用すると思うけどさ。
Why not meet with him, at least? You've met him before.
今忙しいんだお。
You can make time for one day.
コミマが終わるまでは無理かな。
That's over a month away.
とにかくしばらくは無理。
Give me a break, man. You're full of excuses. Do you really not want to go that badly? I sighed and sat down on the sofa. This room really was hot as hell during the summer. The windows were open and the fans were running at full speed, but I was still sweating. It was an air conditioner, but evidently he wasn't using it. Got any Dr. P?
さあどうだったかな。マヨシが買い置きしてるかも。
I got up and took a look in the fridge in the corner of the room. It was regular soda, mineral water, and some sports drinks. But not a single Dr. P. As usual, the freezer was stuffed with juicy fried chicken #1. Mayuri really did buy a ton of that stuff. Wait, was there even more than usual? She bought some for Misuzuha too. They're using it for the fun way things doesn't change. I'm going to grab a sports drink.
鈴葉の飲みかけ以外なら OK。
I grabbed an unopened bottle and took a big gulp. I happened to take a look at the snack shelf next to the fridge. Mixed in with instant noodles and snacks were 5 bunches of bananas. Mighty must have brought those too. But still, all that fried chicken and now these bananas? Was she eating more than she had been? I like this. Okay, this would have been a really great scene, and you guys are gonna hate me for saying this, probably. But this would have been an amazing scene, or just like if they wouldn't have told me anything. If I would have been Okabe and not known anything, I think this would have been a great scene, because this is the part where I would have figured it out or figured something was going on. Like, cause I would have been like, huh, bananas, juicy fried chicken #1. If you guys haven't seen the first game, which I'm sure you have if you're watching this, that's what they used for the experiments and the fun way games that changed at the beginning. So yeah. It's just, you know, there's just some certain things I really like about the game, but certain things I'm like, you know, I wish were different. But it's like, you know, they're doing a new thing, so I understand. She always said that no matter how much she ate, she never got fat, but if she bought this many bananas at once, they were all going to turn brown and squishy before she could eat them all. Wait, this one's green and squishy! No, I'm kidding. Does Mayuri really need all these bananas?
ああ、それ買ってきたのマヨシじゃなくて僕。
Oh, Daddy!
あ、
Huh? Very quickly cut himself off. Turned towards him and he averted his gaze. Dottie, you could have just acted like it was normal. You could have just been like, I eat bananas. I love bananas now. You've been acting really weird this whole time. Is he hiding something? I feel like I'm like a broken record. The younger kids, I feel like I'm something on repeat. But Dottie, like this scene is like from the perspective of Okabe, and I love the perspective of Okabe. Like the narrator, I've said it multiple times, but the narrator is such a weird aspect in this game when you're the other people. The narrator is so weird. But I feel like this would have been so great, like just finding out that like they're doing like experiments and stuff, like oh what, they're hiding something, you know, all that kind of stuff. You bought all these? When did you start liking bananas?
いやほら、鈴葉に言われてるんだって。ダイエットにいいから毎日食べろってさ。
There was a diet like that before, come to think of it. Some celebrity had gone on TV and said she'd lost a bunch of weight on banana diet. And the next day, all the bananas in Japan disappeared from stores. My dad had tried to get in on the boom a little too late and bought a huge supply of bananas, only to see it flare out and most of them rot on the shelves. I remembered that. So don't buy so many at once. They've already changed color. Well, whatever, I was hungry, so I decided to take one. I took a banana and peeled the skin. Just don't go overboard with everything, okay?
そうだね。うん。
He's acting so weird. How do we not know something's going on? I finished a banana in 3 bites. Holy! In 3 bites? I went to toss the peel in the burnable trash can. Yes! Yes! And then I noticed something strange. The can was filled with bananas. More than anybody could possibly eat. But these bananas? They were green and slimy. Over half the can was filled up with bananas. Or should I say, gel-nanas. It wasn't just the skin, some of them were unpeeled, but half rotten, and the summer heat made them give off a nasty stench. I remember seeing something like this once before.
またゲルバナ作るの？
Oh, we're bringing it back! Gel-nanas. That's right. It was when I was living here a year ago, doing experiments every day. And then my mind flashed back to the contents of the fridge, and that bizarre stockpile of juicy fried chicken. Couldn't it be? I plunged my head into the garbage can, not caring about the filth.
おかりん。
We put our head in there? We didn't just put our hand? Or we put our hand. I think it said hand, not head. Okay. Dottie was clearly uneasy, but I ignored him. I was right. Under the remains of the bananas, I saw tons of boxes of empty fried chicken. No matter how much Mayuri liked them, or how much of a glutton Dottie was, no one would voluntarily eat this much frozen fried chicken every day. I went deeper into the garbage can, and then I found something I didn't want to see. Hey. Dottie?
なんぞ。
Bananas and frozen fried chicken. This brings back a lot of memories, doesn't it? It must have been about a year ago. We used to do all these kinds of experiments like this. We'd waste a lot, so Mayuri would get mad at us. She'd tell us not to waste food.
そうだね。
So we ended up having to eat the bananas that we warmed in the microwave to get rid of them. They tasted horrible. But we never were able to eat those. What I pulled out of the garbage can was... Gel-nanas! A green, goosey mass. It was a thick, disgusting liquid, like you'd expect to see if you crushed a giant bug. The goo dripped out of my fingers and splattered onto the floor. It was what used to be a banana. What we once called a gel-nana.
Oh, しまった。
Shimata is right, Daru. Daru put his hands to his head. But then he evidently gave up on hiding it.
まずった。こんなあっさりバレちゃったか。もうちょっと隠し通せると思ったんだけどな。実際さ、目処がついたらちゃんと相談したいこともあったし、打ち明ける予定ではあったんだけど。
Come on, help him! Help him, Okabe! Daru tossed me the towel. Evidently, he'd already used it, because it was covered in black soot. But I decided to wipe the galnan off my hands with it anyway. Daru went into the development room and started moving boxes and dust covers.
ほれ、これが2号機。
And on the table appeared the horrible future gadget number 8, which I had built, improved, and finally dismantled a year ago. Put it together again?
電話レンジカッコ仮バージョン2とどっちがいいか結構迷った。
I don't care about the name.
マジ？オカリンの言葉とは思えないな。どの未来ガジェットもさ、円卓会議やって大騒ぎして名前決めたじゃん。
Yeah, come on, Okabe, come on. That's all dark history.
そう？
Daru was looking at the dust-covered future gadgets that were sitting on the shelf of the development room. There was something like fondness in his gaze. Why the hell was he acting like this? Did he think of the nightmare as some kind of happy youthful memory? I was about to tell him to go screw himself, but I held it in. Did you forget what I told you? This thing is dangerous. It's not something we should have.
うん。けどさ、僕未来でタイムマシン作らないといけないんだよね。そうするとやっぱこいつを研究することがその第一歩だと思うわけ。
Daru! I gave up on trying to hold it back. I got up in his face and yelled at him. I told you again and again and again, right? I told you what happened because of this thing. I told you what I went through. Maidi was killed because we made this thing. Kuri's was sacrificed because we made this thing. Your daughter went back into the past and committed suicide because we made this thing. You've forgotten. Do you want me to go over it again? Are you that stupid? Are you so dumb that you won't understand unless you experience it for yourself? Huh? Suddenly heard an angry female voice behind me. She looks so adorable. She looks so adorable. She looks so cute. She looks so small. She looks so small. Look at that face. She looks so cute when she's angry. I looked back and saw Maho. Yeah. Glaring at me. She looks so adorable. What? Yajo?
Oh. Go Loli, kita kore.
What happened to your clothes? And wait, what are you doing here? She looks so adorable. You can't sue me. You're the one in my house. It's your fault for coming out like that. Okay, fine. Flat as a board. Maho quickly went back into the shower room and came out dressed a moment later. God, Maho, what are you doing? Okay, can we so can we talk about that? Just 1 second. How much better would that have been if we wouldn't have known Maho was in there? A billion times? A quadrillion times? Yes. Yes, that is correct. It would have been an infinite times better if we would not have known Maho was in there in the first place. I'm kind of mad, but you know, I'm having a good time right now. It's I'm having a good time right now, but I'm just upset that they would do that. Why would they do that? Like, we already knew they were making the fun way things. Like, okay, my argument at first for that, like my argument on their side, playing devil's advocate for them, was that they're showing this scene because we don't know. We want information. We want to know why they're building we want to see that they're actually building the fun way game to change. But we learned that in our conversation between Daru and Okabe. Okabe learned that. We already knew that with the Skype call earlier. But we learned it with the Okabe and Daru conversation right then and there. I'm just saying us opening the curtain and us seeing, or her opening the curtain and us seeing her like that would have been so hilarious if we would have not known she was in there. We'd have been like, she's yelling at us, and we would have been like, where's Maho yelling at us from? Haha. And then it's gonna show the next scene, and then it's gonna be her in a bathtub, and we're gonna be like, what? Why is she in a bathtub? You know, it's gonna be, you know, it'd be funny. It would be funny. It'd be a funny joke. It'd be a funny joke. Have you been hiding here since I first arrived? You were trying to get the jump on me, weren't you? Did you fake that picture of you in Okinawa that you sent to Dr. Leskinen? Both the professors and I were completely taken in by that picture of her standing on the Okinawa beach. But it seemed we'd both been tricked. It was well made enough that Dario must have been involved. He didn't come to Japan to visit Okinawa.
そうよ。あなたが電話レンジカッコ仮なんていうセンスのない名前をつけた。そのマシンのために来たの。
That is the best name you've ever heard, and you know it. I told you what happened because of the emails too. Are you going to repeat that?
違うわ。
How? If you send a email, Echelon will pick it up, and the world line will go back to the beta to alpha. And then Mayori will die again. I won't be able to save her. No matter what I do, she'll keep dying for all of eternity. And then I had a terrifying thought. I stared directly into Maho's eyes. No way. She of all people couldn't possibly. I trusted Maho completely, but I didn't want to believe she was capable of it. The terrible machine that I just confronted had drained me of any kind of rationality. A flashback felt like it was going to hit me any second. Images of Greece and Mayori's death were flashing through my mind. And so I said something I never should have said. You weren't trying to bring back the Alpha World line, are you?
Eh?
Are you trying to create a world where Greece lives and Mayori dies?
この野郎!
There was an impact on my cheek and a loud sound in my ears. Next thing I knew, I was lying on the ground, face up. A while before I understood what had happened. The left half of my face felt like it was on fire. I was punched by Daru. I'd known him for 5 years, and this was the first time anything like that had happened.
謝れ! 今すぐ魔法炭に謝れ!
ちょっと、やめなさい、橋田さ
オカリンがどれだけ苦しんでるかなんて僕には想像しかできないけど、だから安っぽい同情なんてしないし、するつもりもねえよ。でもな、お前結局ただそれに甘えてるだけじゃねえか。魔法炭だって鈴葉だって眉シだってみんながお前のためにどれだけ。
もういいから、よしなさい。
I'll grab Daru's body and try to hold him back.
話せ！こいつもっとぶん殴ってやらないとわかんないんだよ。
もう十分よ。今ので十分。だから落ち着いて。
This time Maho put her hand on Daru's shoulder.
後の説明は私がしておくわ。顔でも洗ってきなさい。ほら。
Pointing towards the shower room, and Daru finally seemed to get control of himself again.
わかった。
Damn. He looked a little awkward as he lowered his fist. Normally he hated any kind of seriousness, so in a situation like this, he'd always tell one of his perverted gentleman jokes. There was no jokes as he vanished beyond the curtain into the shower room. A moment later I could hear the sound of the water.
まったく。
Mo was looking down at me.
あなたがおかしなことを言うからよ。
You're right. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to.
わかってるわ。あなた、そんな人じゃないもの。ほら、立てる？
Yeah. I grabbed her hand and slowly got up. Took a solid hit when I wasn't expecting it, and so my head was a little dizzy. That hurt. When somebody who's normally gentle finally gets mad. He's really strong.
そうね。しかも自分のためじゃなく、他の誰かのために怒れる人は素敵だと思う。 少しだけ見直したわ。
Maho seemed a bit happy as she looked towards the shower room. Only a little bit?
だって私への言動がいつもセクハラばっかりだもの。
Maybe he's fallen in love with you. Kids do that all the time, you know? Tease the girls they like. Kids get it hard after all.
冗談じゃないわ。鈴葉さんを私の娘にしたいわけ？
No, she'd be a lot shorter if she was. Ah, that would be bad, yeah. I chuckled a bit, but quickly stopped and turned to face Maho. The difference between our heights was so great that I was looking down on her. If you want my suggestive opinion, this world exists because of Kurise's choice. Mayuri is safe because of Kurise. She can live and be happy. I have to protect her. You're a scientist. You're a lot smarter than I am. You can understand, right? You can understand the laws of the universe.
ええ。
Maho quietly nodded. You could call it God if you wanted to. It's stupid for humans to challenge God. But I tried anyways, and then I tried a dozen times more, and then I tried 100 times more after that. And I failed. Every single time. It was all so useless. God will never forgive human arrogance.
そうね。
Ma was looking out the window, as if she was thinking back to her homeland and ancestors.
神というのは私の祖国やあるいは沖縄の人たちの間でもポピュラーな存在として信じられているわ。私も祖父母や父母からその素敵な考えを教えられてきた。科学に身を捧げるものではあるけれど、決して神を侮ったりはしない。
But then, Mo shook her head a little, and looked up at me with a piercing gaze.
けどね、あなたが盛んに口にする神はそれとは全く違う。
Her words were sharp, with no room for disagreement.
世界の摂理ですって。そんなものはただこの世界を構築している数式に過ぎないわ。神なんて立派なものは介在していないし、私たちに解が導けない道理はないのよ。
This scene is making me like Maho more. I've liked Maho just as like I kind of liked her. She's like she's a cool new character, like better than Kagari. Kagari, I felt, I don't know if she does any more. She probably will do some more in this true ending. But so far, I feel like she's been like almost completely useless. Like I don't want to say she's been completely useless, but almost like to the point of like she wasn't needed. But it's debatable, I guess. But yeah, I never really liked Maho, but this scene is making me like her more. I was about to respond, but before I could, Maho went inside the development room. I had no choice but to follow her. Because she's like, she's strong in the scene. She's like, Okabe, we're doing this, She's like, she's convincing him, and I like that.
D メールとエシュロンとの因果、それによる危険性については十分認識しているわ。
Because her whole character so far has been this character that's living in Kurise's shadow. She's just a it's kind of like her character is her character. You know what I'm saying? Like she is this small little girl for like pretty much the whole story, and like now she's like stepping up and being like, listen, Okabe, I know you've been through a lot of pain, and I know it's a lot of trouble, but we're going to do this. We're going to get to that world line. We're going to save the world.
安心しなさい。D メールは今の時点では封印してある。あなたの懸念しているような事態は起こらないし、私が絶対に起こさせない。もちろん D メールの危険を回避する方法もエシュロンを無効化する策も橋田さんと検討中よ。
We can do it with line.
ただ今はその検証にリソースを割くより先にやらなくてはならないことがあるの。個人的にもね。
Maho tapped the top of the phone wave unit number 2.
今私たちが研究しているのは クリスが成し遂げたというタイムリープの方。
Then this can only time leap?
そういうことになるわね。
She was right. I was looking at a time leap machine, not the phone wave names would change. I could tell they recreated all the improvements that Cudis had made to the phone wave. The most obvious was the PC and monitor that were connected to the microwave. And connected to the PC was a headset and what looked like a cord covered in electrodes. Though a swirled line, only I knew the details of how the time leap machine was set up, and I hadn't told Daru and Maho about them. In other words, with only some small hints, Maho had managed to create the same thing as Cudis.
正直なところ、とても悔しいわ。
Frustrating.
研究すればするほど、やっぱり私はクリスにはなれないって。記憶をデータ化して、それをトップダウン検索信号込みで携帯電話に転送する。ただ、最大の問題がクリアできない。クリスはそれをやってのけたのに。
The data compression, right? Maho nodded.
何テラバイトもある膨大な記憶データをどうやって圧縮するのか。
That's because...
その謎が私ではどうしても解けない。
Maho, that's because we use the exact organization we're fighting against to do it. That was the part that Cudis had struggled with the most too. But in the end, with Daru's help, she'd been able to do it.
あなたはクリスから何か聞いているのかしら。その方法を。
She seemed a little unhappy as she asked me that. Asking for the answer meant giving up and finding the solution for herself, and so it meant admitting defeat. Maybe that was really hard for her. Yet she'd chosen to put completing the machine first. But I had no intention of giving her the answer right away. You made me a promise when we last talked, right? That you wouldn't try to save Makise Cudis using the time machine.
ええ。
You still intend to keep it? If you don't, I can't help you. Maho didn't answer for a while, but without even looking at her face, I could tell she was being torn apart inside.
もちろん守るわ。あなたとの約束だもの。
After a long pause, she gave her answer. I couldn't help but laugh. You're a terrible liar. That look on your face? It's obvious you're not telling the truth. We're done talking. Then I left the development room. I looked towards the shower room, but I could still hear the sound of falling water from within. Daru was showering, showing no signs of being done. Sorry. Hey, Daru! I was the stupid one. I'm really sorry. I spoke, but there was no answer. Maybe he hadn't heard it. It seemed better for both of us if I apologized tomorrow. I'll be back tomorrow. That was all I said as I headed towards the door.
Okabeさん。
Maho followed me. She came up to me so fast she almost slammed into me.
シュタインズゲートは実在すると思う？
I know it does. But Okabe doesn't yet.
まゆりさんが死ぬことなく、そしてクリスも犠牲にならない、そんな狭間の世界線があると思う？
If you want to know what happened when I tried to reach it, ask Suzuha. In the end, I couldn't beat fate. Steins Gate is just a stupid delusion.
そう言い切ってしまってないと証明されたわけではないのよ。
It's just the devil's proof, though, right? Nobody can prove a negative.
そうよ。あるのかないのかも証明されていないのに、あなたはたった一度失敗したくらいで諦めた。
Mo was gritting her teeth hard.
呆れてしまうわ。
What? I almost went out of control and grabbed her by the shoulders, but I managed to stop myself at the last second. I told you before, right? I tried dozens, no, hundreds of times before that.
私も言ったはずよ。それは神の摂理でも何でもないって。世界線もタイムマシンも シュタインズゲートなんてものもどれも世界を構築するただの数式に過ぎない。何回も何十回も何百回も失敗した。だからなんだというの？そんなの科学の世界では当たり前のことよ。それで失敗したのなら何千回も何万回も何億回も挑戦すればいい。そうすれば必ずそこに解放は見つかる。
You don't know anything. You haven't experienced it. That's the only reason why you can say something so irresponsible.
いいえ、嫌というほど経験してきたわ。失敗も挫折も後悔もその痛みもマキセ・クリスという天才のせいで。
I really like Maho in the scene, but you guys know I have to side with Okabe. I want Okabe to save the world, obviously. Maho's gonna win, I'm sure, and, maybe not right away, but we're gonna save the world, obviously. But I think the failures that Okabe has went through and seeing Mayori die, the thing is, you've been through failures, setbacks, and regrets, and, you haven't been able to, reach out, catch up to Kudis. Yeah, but neither has Okabe. He's never been able to catch up to Kudis, and also, he's seen her die. He's killed her. He's seen Mayori die a lot of time. I don't know how many, a lot. We've seen her die so many times. We've failed so many times, and it's not just regular failures, it's people dying. We've seen people die. We've killed people. We've been through a lot more than just science setbacks. We've been through a lot more than just science failures, just not being able to create the light bulb, or whatever it is, or not being able to create the time machine. We've been through a lot more than just these regular setbacks or failures. We've been through so much pain along the way. It's not just about a regret or the pain of not being able to beat Kudis. It's been the pain of not being able to save our friends, or seeing our friends die because of us, and it's all our fault. And to know that in the future there's nothing that we can do to stop it. That's it. We're the one who killed the one we loved. No matter what you've done, no matter what failure you've been through, you've never killed the very person you loved. And I know it's a lot. I know it's a lot that you've been through, Maho. But I don't think it's anywhere near the level of what Okabe has been through. And I'm 100% on your side, Maho. And I'm 100% on Okabe getting out of this rut and saving the world. But I'm just telling you, I don't think your experiences, I think they pale in comparison to what Okabe has been through. Equations don't have feelings.
数式を解くのは人間よ。結局のところね。
We were glaring at each other, our faces close enough to kiss. Maho's gaze burned into me. For some reason, I couldn't bear to look at her. I turned away. I turned around without saying a word and tried to head out the door. But she grabbed the hem of my shirt and stopped me. I didn't expect that. Do you need something else? I turned around annoyed. A moment ago, her expression had been so fierce. Now she simply wore a sad smile. It was so different that, for a moment, I thought I'd jump world lines. Huh? Maho whispered to me.
あなたこそ嘘が下手ね。
Liar. Was I lying? I put my hands up to my face, trying to figure out what she meant. That didn't tell me what kind of look I had on my face. Of course, so I simply stood there, confused. Liar. What do you mean? I'm not lying.
橋田さんに聞いたんだけど、1年前のあなたってタイムマシンに関しては取り付く島もなかったんですってね。シュタインズゲートの話なんてそれこそ論外。口にする。
What are you talking about?
でも今は違うわ。だって あなたのその顔、私が以前よくしていた顔と同じだもの。クリスに実証実験で負けて、論文の評価でも負けて、名声でも負け続けて、落ち込んで、もうダメだって思って。
I also understand everyone sees everything in their own perspective, and not everyone sees everything the same. So yes, I mean, I guess in a way you could say that Maho's experiences were at the same level, because that's all she's ever known. Like, she wants to be the biggest and best scientist, but there's a scientist who's just better than her, who's like right next to her and who's her friend, and she can never reach her. So I guess in a way it's like saying her life is meaningless, I guess is what she's thinking. So I guess it's like really bad, but like, you know, I've been through with Okabe through all his trials, whereas I haven't been with Maho through hers.
けど、いつも最後は鏡を見て自分を叱りつけたのよ。
Maho pointed to her own heart with her index finger.
挑戦するのを諦めたら終わり。そうしたら永遠に勝つことはできないってね。
Then she pointed it at my left breast.
今のあなたはその時の私と同じ顔よ。心の奥の奥ではまだリベンジする気でいる。自分をこんな惨めな男へと貶めたシュタインズゲートに。
Me. I still hadn't given up? No. That's not true.
違わないわ。あなたってね、ほんと私にそっくり。まるで胸像みたい。強情で一度言い出したら聞かなくて、自分が間違ったと分かってもそれを絶対に認めたくなくて子供みたいに拗ねて、誰かに心配や迷惑ばかりかける。で、そんなことないよとか少しくらいはフォローしてもらえないとちょっとけどね。だからこそわかるのよ。私もあなたも最後は絶対に自分の足で立ち上がるの。そうでしょ、岡部倫太郎さん。もう一度言うわ。あらゆる世界の摂理はただの数式であり、私は何としても見つけてやるわ。神なんて介在しない。ただの、そうしてまゆりさんが死なない、クリスも生きている狭間の世界線に続く道へとたどり着いてやる。
After saying all that, Maho was a little out of breath. She had a lot of vitality in her tiny body. Her words, the way she looked, they hit me so hard I couldn't speak.
で、あなたはどうするの？岡部所長、ここはあなたのラボなのでしょ？いつまでも所長不在では話にならないのだけれど。
And then I got a Ryan message. Guys, this scene has made me fall in love with Maho. Like, I don't, not like Kuri's love, but Leskinen was my favorite character, and I still think he's an amazing character. I think it's a super well-made character, but I love Maho now. Big trouble. What do I do? Mayuri, I just happened to pass by her, and she was running away crying. I've never seen her so sad. What? Mayuri was crying. I could tell that something bad was going on. When she saw my shock, Maho looked over at my phone too. She was crying. What happened? I don't know. I just happened to run into her, so I said hi, and she was crying. I was really surprised, but when I asked what was going on, she was really upset. She said that it was her fault Kurisa died, and that's why you were suffering. She said she should have died instead. Wait. What? Wait, what? That only happens on the... That only happens in the bad ending. That only happens with Maho. Why is it happening in this world line?
And then she ran away. I ran after her, but I lost her. What do I do, Okabe? What do I do?
What? I looked at Maho. Did she hear that?
そういえば
What? Soyeba. Daru come out of the shower. Daru had come out of the shower room at some point and was standing right behind me.
オカリンがラボに来るって知らせてくれたのマヨシだ
Yeah?
マヨシもここに向かってる途中だって言ってた
Who did she meet? Suza? Then that meant there was a good chance she did. Oh no. I felt like my knees were going to give out. Mayuri existed in this world line because of Kurisa's sacrifice. And that was the one thing that Mayuri could never find out. Me, Daru, Suzaha, Faris, Maho. Everyone who knew the truth had kept it from her. Oh damn. That means she did come and she overheard her. I needed to find her. And fast. I needed to find Mayuri. I couldn't let her be alone right now. Damn it! I ran out of the lab. And we'll run out of the lab in the next video, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to like if you enjoyed it. Oh, that's a cliffhanger. Tell me if you want to watch it on Twitch next time. And I'll see you guys in the next video.